What's up, everyone? Welcome to the June 8th edition of FanDuel Tournament Plays presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. And as a reminder, use the code Awesemo when you sign up and make a deposit at Prize Picks. You'll receive one free month of Awesemo Plus Platinum. You'll also receive a 100% first deposit bonus up to $100 on that deposit. We have a 10-game MLB slate tonight. As usual, we're going to take a look at three of the top tournament stacks and three of the top tournament pitchers on FanDuel using the top stacks and top pitchers tools on the Awesemo.com website. Starting with the top three stacks. Number three, the Philadelphia Phillies are taking on Adrian Hauser tonight in Milwaukee. They have a 4.5 implied run total. They're projected for 6% ownership with a 5% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 5% chance of being the top value stack. Philadelphia's active roster has a 104 WRC plus, so they've been slightly above average in terms of production, but a 178 ISO is one of the highest marks in baseball. Hauser has done a good job of limiting home runs this year, but he has only struck out 18.2% of hitters. He has a 4.14 xFIP. So you're talking about a powerful Philadelphia lineup that's going to be able to put the ball in play. Number two, the Tampa Bay Rays are taking on Zach Thompson. He's expected to make his second major league appearance of his career. He put up very good numbers at AAA this year in 10 starts, struck out 30.1% of hitters with a 3.99 FIP. It's certainly not an easy matchup, and Tampa Bay only has a 4.4 implied run total. The ballpark isn't great either, but the Rays are projected for 6% aggregate ownership with a 4% chance of being the top scoring stack, but a 9% chance of being the top value stack. So far this season, offensively, Tampa Bay has been middle of the pack. They rank 20th in WRC plus at 98. 137 ISO certainly leaves something to be desired as well, but they do offer some value tonight on FanDuel. And number one, the Boston Red Sox taking on Reed Detmers. Detmers, of course, has a no-hitter this season, but has only struck out 17.4% of hitters, 4.65 xFIP, 1.4 home runs allowed per 9 innings. Overall, he has not been great so far this year. He is talented. He's a top pitching prospect, but the results haven't really been there. Boston's hitting has really come around recently, and they are now up to ninth in baseball with a 110 WRC plus. They also have a respectable 160 ISO. They are projected for 8% ownership with an 8% chance of being the top scoring stack and a 3% chance of being the top value stack. Now, looking at the top three tournament pitchers, number three, Marcus Stroman is $8,300, taking on the Baltimore Orioles in Baltimore. Stroman actually has struck out 22.7% of hitters this year. That's a little bit more than we normally get from him. He's always been a good pitcher in terms of run prevention, and that's been the case this year as well. He has a 3.39 xFIP. Baltimore's active roster, I should say, has a 97 WRC plus, but an elevated 23.5% strikeout percentage. So basically a league average offense in terms of production, but an above average strikeout rate for Stroman to target. Number two, Chris Bassett, $9,500 price tag, taking on the San Diego Padres. Bassett is projected for 2% ownership with a 6% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 4% chance of being the top value pitcher. Bassett has struck out 25% of hitters this year with a 3.79 xFIP. The Padres active roster has been league average with a 100 WRC plus and a 21.8% strikeout percentage. And number one, Nestor Cortez, $11,000 in a difficult matchup against the Minnesota Twins. He's only projected for 3% ownership. He has an 8% chance of being the top scoring pitcher and a 2% chance of being the top value pitcher. Cortez has the second highest strikeout percentage on the slate behind Aaron Nola at 29.7% with a 3.08 xFIP this year. The only concern for Cortez is that the Twins have been one of the best offenses in baseball. They have a 114 WRC plus, but they have also struck out 22% of the time. So there's plenty of strikeout upside there for Cortez. So to recap, the top three tournament stacks on DraftKings: number three, the Philadelphia Phillies; number two, the Tampa Bay Rays; and number one, the Boston Red Sox. And the top three tournament pitchers: number three, Marcus Stroman; number two, Chris Bassett; and number one, Nestor Cortez.